He's Tom Curran, NBC Sports Boston, our favorite, who leads us off this Super Bowl week. What do you make of this, that Brady cut it short after one of the hosts said something, a disparaging remark about Tom's daughter?
I think it might have been a straw that broke the camel's back situation there, because he's had a good back and forth with the hosts there, Kirk Minahan and Jerry Callahan. They go back and forth. It was neither of those guys who made the comment. It was a host apart from them. It was an overnight host who made the comment. But I think that, you know, they've gone back and forth on a number of things over the years. And Kirk, in particular, will push him on things. But I think this was, I mean, it's a bridge too far. I mean, it's just way over the line when you're talking about a 5-year-old girl in those terms.
But he says that he's going to have to reassess his relationship with the station. I mean, this would be a huge loss, because Brady normally doesn't talk to the media. I mean, he'll do his normal press conferences, but it's rare when he does, when he gives you, 30 minutes of his time.
Yeah, and he's you can tell that he saves up a lot of his nuggets and insights for that interview. You know, he'll go further in depth, because it's not necessarily, he can't dictate the terms of it, because they do give him good pushback, but he feels comfortable going back and forth, whether it's, you know, the TB12 stuff or Alex Guerrero or his diet, the things that are important to him. That's where he gets more expansive. You're exactly right. So, you know, I mean, I'm sure you have an open chair if he decides to go become a free agent.
Yeah, absolutely.
Weekly open chair.
We have the open chair. I don't have the money to pay him, but I have the open chair.
Well, if you take him to Pebble.
He can go to Pebble on his own.
He can go to Pebble on his own.
Yes. I have the interview with him. It's now been changed to tonight with Brady. So this is the sit down. This will be the interview that runs in the final 30 minutes of our pregame show. We've talked about the Brady-Michael Jordan comparison, because we knew the media would probably pick up on it. If Brady won his 6th, then this would be the story. So we talked about the story being the story, and then all of a sudden, here we are. It got picked up, and everybody started talking about Brady and Jordan.
Are you guys all claiming credit for hatching this?
Yes.
I mean, after the Super Bowl last year, I said that Michael Jordan is the Tom Brady of basketball. I mean, I did that. I was way ahead of the curve. Way ahead of the curve.
So you're taking credit.
Wait, yeah. I mean, that's my beat. You can't do this to me.
We did it.
Okay, fine.
Yeah, we did it.
You got a bigger bugle than me.
Yes, exactly.
You got a bigger bugle, so you're going to say, but I had it first, Dan.
Okay. Okay, great. I mean, what do you want?
A little bit of respect.
Okay, so when I say to Brady tonight, when I go, hey, you know, Tom Curran brought this up after you won last year's Super Bowl.
I love Tom.
Yeah.
Love Tom.
So if I bring that up to Brady and then I say, hey, what do you think of these comparisons with you and Michael Jordan?
I think that he will be exactly what you said, self-deprecating. One interesting thing was, after that AFC Championship game, when someone asked him about his hand and whether or not it affected him, he's so aware of what comes out of his mouth and how it can be interpreted. Because remember how he said the thing about, he started to say that if it affected me, but then he said, well, we just won the game. I don't want to sound like Tiger Woods saying that I just won with my C game. Yeah. So he backed off it. So I'm sure he'll be overly self-deprecating. But when you think about it, there's two different ways to look at it. You can say that Brady, people will say, well, Brady doesn't play defense. Well, Brady, if he did play defense, he might have 8 Super Bowl wins, because in 2 of the other ones, or 7, whatever the hell it is, he gave him a lead in 2007, and he left the defense with a lead in 2011. In both instances, they burped it up. So if he didn't have, he's done all he could to win every Super Bowl he's been in.
Well, we're not comparing them as far as athleticism. It's just accomplishments. Because if it's athleticism, then Tom's going to say, no, I don't deserve to be mentioned in any conversation with Mike.
He will keep himself behind Montana at this point, I would think. Because I just don't think that he takes that 30,000-foot view of himself. He really is still, you know, in the nuts and bolts and in the mix of it.
But he's a competitor.
Yeah.
So there's a part of him that would love to be or compete to be in that conversation. But then there's the other part of him, sort of the self-effacing public image that's never going to acknowledge that.
Right. And I think that's what's interesting about this whole Tom versus time thing, which I actually find entertaining. You know, a lot of people thought it was just going to be an infomercial for, you know, the business enterprise. But, you know, when you watch that, the main reason he did it was he wanted to start to create a record. The 2016 season with Deflategate, with his mother's illness, with the comeback against Atlanta, Gotham Chopra had approached him for years about doing it. And then he said, you know what, let's start to get this stuff down. And I think that when you talk about the historical importance, that he has to be cognizant of it, I think this stuff right now is kind of a nod to that.
But don't you think that he's his own experiment? He's so showing everybody that if I can do it, you can do it. And to see him succeed at a high level, maybe the MVP, you're in your 40s, he's practicing what he preaches. And so the longer he plays, the more he reinforces what this whole diet, this whole, what transformation is.
But here's the thing. He's not even an outlier. He is not an outlier playing at 40. I mean, Jaromir Jagr was released yesterday. Yeah. He's 40-5.
But he didn't win the MVP.
He didn't win the MVP, but he's 45. Manu Ginobili, Vince Carter, Drew Brees is 39. Brett Favre had an MVP-type season at the age of 40. What Brady is doing is not unprecedented in terms of being there.
Yeah, but at that position, it's the toughest position in all of sports. And to play at that level, to be an MVP, nobody's ever been an MVP.
Do you know that Jerry Rice had 1,200 yards at the age of 40? 92 catches, 1,200 yards. That's a harder position.
But he's a better athlete than Tom.
Yeah.
I mean, Jerry was a great athlete. We're talking about the intelligence to stay healthy, to play games. He's only missed games, when he had the knee surgery and then he got suspended. But at that position, with how many different makeshift lineups that he's had and skill position players and everything that's gone on in his career, it's pretty remarkable to play this high a level.
It is remarkable to be at this level, to still be somewhat improving too in different ways. Now, tell me this then. Do you, and you kind of mentioned it, where did you come down on this argument anyway? Did you just broach this thing and then never talk about it?
No, we did.
Who won? Who's better?
I don't know if you can say who's better.
That's great. Dan.
I do think it's. I think
it's 1 degree out. I come all the way down here. I ask one simple question.
Michael was in 6, won 6, took 2 years off, would probably have 8, and then it wouldn't be a conversation. So I'll say Jordan is the best team athlete of the modern era. You can now leave, Tom. So you're go out in the 1 degree temperature.
So you're downgrading Brady for having been in 2 more.
Yeah. And losing.
So going and losing.
And losing.
So the Joe Montana perfect in the Super Bowl is trumps Brady then?
No, it does not. No.
I don't know. It just seems like
I'm going to give him in his world, in the quarterbacking world, to make this many appearances. It's not just the math that we're talking about here, Tom. I'm saying Jordan was so great, he gave the Rockets a couple of titles. Like, that's how nice he was. Brady didn't go to the Giants, hey, here's a couple of titles. That's what Mike did.
No,
Mike was
their
so
defense
great.
Did.
Mike was so great. Well, if Tom scored more points, then you don't need the defense.
He did all he could.
He's Tom Curran, NBC Sports Boston, and a good friend of Tom Brady's. No, I'm just giving you, it's just a reintroduction. I don't know if you know what that's like. Like, this big-time radio here.
Oh, it is.
So if somebody tunes in, they're going, who's the guy with the accent? And then I say Tom Curran.
Who's the Tom Brady nut hugger?
Yeah. Can we font him? Can we put under his name Tommy Curran? Brady nut hugger.
Tommy.
Where is the drama from a couple of weeks ago with the Patriots?
Where is it?
Yeah, where did that go?
Oh, no, it's still there. It exists. Honestly, you want to... Again, the interesting thing about 2017 and 18 is this Tom versus time stuff is really the flashpoint. It's really kind of what you're looking at as to why there is a level of tension and fatigue between Belichick and Brady. It's not that specifically, and it's not Alex Guerrero specifically, but, after he won the 5th Super Bowl and the Patriots won the 5th Super Bowl, I think Brady said, you know what, I want to do things a little bit different. I want to try and get this out there, the TB12 stuff and what we're doing. So he did a book, he did an app. And after 18 years, I think he felt entitled to do these types of things. So he poked his head up and Belichick said, diva quarterback, I knew it. He's a diva quarterback now. And I think that's where...
Do you think Belichick thinks that?
I think that he believes that Tom, over the course of time, has needed to be managed differently than other players, and that it increases over time, and that he gets fatigue from it. even if relative to scores of other players in the league, he's still far less coddled.
Here's something I didn't understand from that whole story. Now, we'll never get the true story, at least anytime soon, about why Garoppolo was traded to San Francisco when you could have gotten more. So we can all agree that that still doesn't sync up correctly, right?
A couple of aspects don't. If you're going to keep him for insurance for the first half of the season and downgrade him from a first to a second, keep him through the Super Bowl, because look how close he came to needing a replacement in the AFC Championship. You get the third day. So, yes, concur.
But the whole Brady injury here, can you explain how he got 12 stitches if his thumb, like we tried to recreate this.
Sure.
Like I didn't know how that, and I know you asked Brady after the game, hey, can I see your stitches?
I wanted to.
Yeah, and he didn't show you.
Nope. Offered to show him mine.
But not in that area.
But it's super extreme pliability, Dan. Honest to God, that's what it is. They kind of chalk it up to.
Do you really
Come here, give me a finger.
Come on. No, it's my thumb.
It bent that far.
And it tore it. Do you believe that?
I just don't know the guy to be an outright bold-faced liar. I'm believing it.
Do you believe that?
I think I would be terrified if that happened to me. It looks like a horror movie injury.
Now maybe you brought this up after Brady won his fifth. So to be fair to you, you might have brought it up.
You think he gave himself a hand episiotomy?
No, that he was trying to add a sixth finger for his Super Bowl rings on one hand.
Guy.
Now, you can go with that. I don't know if you brought that up after the...
I did not.
Okay, so maybe you could quote me.
That's one thing now you're on in uncharted territory.
Yeah, came up with something original here.
Maybe you should bring that up in the interview later today.
Gronk is not going to be at media. He's not going to be at media night, opening night.
Right.
Okay. Do you think that is now? Okay, first of all,
orchestrated?
Yeah,
I don't think so.
No?
What?
Well, we're conspiracy theorists.
Here, stagger off the field next week so you end up in the concussion protocol.
But
and
he
then
went to practice. He's been in practice twice.
No, but they're not out of the protocol thingy.
Okay, so he can't answer questions at the thingy?
I mean, you're right. I mean, I would prefer him to be there.
Do teammates not ask him questions at practice because they don't think he can answer them, or they're not sure what answer they're going to get?
That's a constant state with him. It has nothing to do with what happened against Jacksonville. Yeah, I mean...
But if you're in concussion protocol, you can't talk to the media? You can't go to...
Correct.
Is that what it is?
At least that's how they operate.
Oh, okay.
I think, who's making noises, yeah?
That's probably Paulie groaning
right?
over there.
We have a theory that it's an easy way to protect Gronk, who's the most likely to say something off color tonight, from being there. It takes him out of the equation.
Yeah, but I mean, he's done a bunch before. He won't screw up that bad.
He's due.
Maybe.
He's so good, though.
Gronk?
Yeah.
Kills me.
He's so funny.
Really?
Kills me. I think he's great.
He's gotten better.
You know, just when he said...
You can see the stuff as he's... You can see the wheels absolutely turning.
I wish he had, like, his head was, clear, that you could look right into it. and just seeing these words on an assembly line coming down, ready to go out of his mouth, like, and then there's nobody there. Like, there's a lifeguard on duty to grab one of the words and take it out. Yeah. Nope, not going to say that.
And there's another guy who drops super in every other word. Super. Super excited. Super competitor.
Chicks. Beer. Yeah, that's Gronk. Yeah, we'll miss him tonight. He's Tom Curran, Patriots Insider, Tom Brady Nut Hugger, NBC Sports Boston. Thank you for braving the elements. It's great to see you, Tom.
Have a great week.
And thank you for all the help.
Studio audience.
Called the Danettes. Thank you for all the contributions that you gave us for the season. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
Yeah.
See you, Pebble.
Thank you, buddy.
For more Dan Patrick Show, tune to Audience Channel 239 on DirecTV or download the Dan Patrick Show app.